Hi, everyone. Welcome to English with Caitlin, an English listening podcast. Today's episode's title Ways to Meet Friends. Today, I want to talk about meeting friends. What are some tips for meeting friends? How about friends that speak English? Where are some good places to meet people? Let's start. I have moved many times. I have lived in different cities and I even moved to a different country. Moving can be exciting, but it can also be difficult. When you move to a new place, everything feels different. You don't know anyone, you don't know where things are. It can feel a little lonely at first. So, how can you feel more comfortable in a new place? For me, the most important thing is to meet people and make friends. One of the best ways I have made friends is through work. When you work with people, you spend a lot of time with them. You talk to them every day, maybe you eat together, maybe you complain about work together. Over time, you become closer. You become friends. It is also really easy to make plans with them. During work, you can ask, "Well, what are you doing later? Do you want to watch a movie? Let's hang out." But when I moved to another country, it became harder to make new friends. In my new job, most of my coworkers were older than me. Many of them had families, their lives were very busy. They didn't have much free time. Also, we had different interests. We liked different things, so it was harder to become close friends. I live in South Korea now. In Korea, age is very important. If someone is older than you need to show them a lot of respect. You use special language. You don't talk to them in the same way you would talk to someone your own age. I noticed that in Korea, most people have friends who are the same age or very close in age. But when I lived in the United States, it was different. I had friends of all different ages. For example, one of my roommates was 20 years older than me, but we still became good friends. We had many things in common. We liked a lot of the same things. The age difference did not matter. So, what can you do if it's hard to make friends at work? Try to join clubs or activities. This is a great way to meet people with the same interest as you. There are hiking groups, book clubs, language exchange groups, cooking classes. Join in on something and you can meet many new people. Let's talk about clubs. Let's talk about where to find English speaking friends. Okay. As I said, joining a club is a great way to meet people and make friends. When I first moved to the city I live in now, I was lucky. It's a big city, so there were many clubs I could join. I joined a language exchange club, a running club, and a tennis club. These clubs helped me meet people. I could practice my hobbies and talk with others at the same time. I found these clubs from friends or by searching online. But I understand it's not always easy. Not everyone lives in a big city. I used to live in a small town, so I know it can be harder to find clubs and events. So, what can you do if there are no clubs in your area? If you feel brave and motivated, you can try to start your own club. It doesn't have to be big or formal. You can invite just a few people at first. You can start a study club, a book club, or a sports club. What do you like to do? If you like a sport, you can ask around to see if anyone wants to play once a week. I think many people would be happy to join, especially if they are also looking for new friends. Some clubs meet once a week, some meet once a month. It depends on the people in the group. You can talk to the members and decide what works best for everyone. And don't forget, there are many online communities too. You If you can't meet people in person, you can join a club online. I recently joined an online book club. I love reading and it's fun to talk with other people who enjoy books too. You don't have to be in the same city to enjoy something together. Now, let's talk about making English speaking friends. Some people worry, my English is not good enough to make friends. That's okay. You don't need perfect English to make friends. One great way to meet English speaking friends is by doing a language exchange. In a language exchange, you can teach your language to someone who speaks English. In return, they help you practice English. You take turns speaking both languages. There are many language exchange apps and websites that can help you find people in your area. You can also look for local events or language cafes where people meet to practice languages. Here is one important tip: make sure you use both languages, not just English. If you only use English, the other person might feel like they're only a teacher. That can be stressful or discouraging for them. Discouraging is when something makes you feel bad and you want to stop trying, stop doing it. But if you use both languages, maybe half in your language and half in English, it will feel fair and fun for both of you. This way, you can both learn and maybe even become good friends. Another way to meet friends, especially English speaking friends, is through traveling. Have you ever traveled alone? It can seem scary or lonely if you have never tried. I've gone on a couple of solo trips to different countries. It was nice to challenge myself in a new way. I sometimes stayed at hostels. Hostels are places where many travelers sleep. Hostels are cheaper than hotels and good for people who want to save money. In a hostel, you may share a room with other people. It's a great place to meet new friends from around the world. A lot of hostels have a public space that all the guests can use. This means many hostels have a big room or area where everyone staying there can go. You can eat meals there or play games. One more thing, if you travel, try to join an English tour. This means when you go to a new place, you can take a tour where the guide speaks English. A tour is when a guide, a person who shows you around, takes you to interesting or famous places. You can search online and find English tours in many cities. Use the internet to look for English tours or English walking tours. Many big cities have them, and they are made for travelers from around the world. Now let's listen to some common phrases. Ready? Today we talked about meeting people and making friends. I have one common phrase to share. That's what friends are for. Let's listen.
That's what friends are for.
That's what friends are for. This phrase means you are happy to help your friend because you are friends. You support them and you are there for them. That's what friends do.
That's what friends are for.
That's what friends are for. If your friend says, I'm sorry you had to wait for me, you can say, oh, don't be sorry. That's what friends are for. You are there for them as their friend.
That's what friends are for.
That is all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you for the next episode. Bye bye.